Hi, I'm Mandy Friedman, licensed professional clinical counselor and clinically certified domestic violence counselor, and the creator of SNAP, Survivors of Narcissistic and Abusive Personalities. Today we're going to talk about 5 reasons why narcissists like to stay friends with their exes. Number 1, the first reason why is because they care what people think a lot. We're talking about a through and through narcissist, that their identity and their worth is really, really closely tied to how people view them. And they care how the narrative is going to be told after a relationship because they want to make sure that there aren't loose ends. So some narcissistic people that you will date, you'll have a difficult time while you're dating them. But then once you're not dating them anymore, they are capable of being friendly. And that's very confusing for you because you just got discarded. So why are we still friends? But yet you kind of like that too because you don't like conflict. So it's easy to fall into thinking, all right, well, and then they like to circle back. So you've broken up and, they're moving on, dating other people. Potentially you are as well. Months will go by, and then you pick up your phone, there's a text, hey, I was just thinking about you, and you're like, oh, that's nice. Hey, it's just, right? It's just sort of keeping the door open a little bit. But they do care what other people think. So they would like it if you could part on good terms, if possible. Despite everything that happened, they don't really want to have open conflict because they're locked into that deep insecurity based on the view of others. Number 2, the second reason why narcissists stay friends with exes is that it gives them more toys to play with. So I like to talk about narcissistic toys as being attention and emotion. And when we stop giving them attention and emotion, we're taking their toys away. When we take information away, when we stop telling them what's going on and filling them in with everything and what our decision making, there's not as much for them to mess with, right? So we try to take their toys away. But having multiple women or multiple men that you continue to have contact with and attention from continues to give you toys to play with. So, they'll reach out and see who bites. And then perhaps that person is in a vulnerable state where they're like, yeah, sure, I'll cheat on my intimate partner with you. They hope they get lucky with, dipping their toe in the water and someone takes the bait, right? So they just like to have all the toys. And the more toys, the better. It makes them feel successful. It makes them feel like that lots of women, adore them, or lots of men adore them, to have this attention from so many or multiple people at the same time. Just kind of fuels them. Number 3, the third reason why narcissists like to stay friends with their exes is because it gives them a source of constant attention. If they have enough people that they're corresponding with and checking in with and circling back to, that it sort of casts a wider net and increases their likelihood then of being able to get attention. And even though a moment ago we talked about how that narcissists care what other people think, even in a situation where they're not your friend anymore and you guys had like a bad breakup and it didn't go well, they might come back and poke the bear. They might just want to fight, and they circle back, and next thing you know, you guys are having a weird squabble out of nowhere. So even with people that don't like them anymore, they will go back and kind of poke and test the waters from time to time just to see, are you still mad? And how mad are you? And then that lets them gauge like where they stand. Number 4, the fourth reason why narcissists like to stay friends with their exes is because for them, a lot of times cheating is normal, and they kind of normalize the situations and conditions under which may create insecurities and jealousy within you. But they will make it seem like that if you're not comfortable with it, that somehow makes you a stick in the mud, less evolved, controlling, jealous, you know, immature, whatever. But that's just a personal preference. Some people don't mind that stuff. Other people do. Either one's okay. As long as everyone is, you know, happy and healthy, it's all good, right? It's no judgment. And since cheating is kind of normal, and when I say cheating, I mean that, you know, they might have misled someone into thinking that you're in a committed monogamous situation, but actually they have, you know, pokers in the fire, so to speak, and they're always sort of testing to see what's going on there, even when they're in a committed monogamous situation. So when I say cheating is normal, it's just, it's an option for them. Number 5, and our last one, because they like to plant seeds of insecurity within you. And so this sort of kills 2 birds with 1 stone. When they're friends with their exes, it gives them all these toys to play with, it keeps their options open, but doubly, it puts you in the position of feeling like that you're competing with other women. And they kind of like that song and dance. They kind of like you being a puppet on the string. They like to see that you're squirming and a little bit jealous and watching you try to navigate and figure out the situation. They're getting a kick out of that. You know, planting the seed of insecurity is suiting to them. And that's what you feel when you're like, this isn't right. You know, now you're like a detective, and what was the relationship? What was the time frame? When were they dating? You know, why did they say they broke up? And you're trying to piece it all together because you're trying to make sense of it, and because you just want to know what's what. You're not being controlling. It's just maybe a little bit much. I hope this video has been helpful. Don't forget, therapists need affirmation too. Please like and subscribe.